What's good with it, BlakGooseTV family, man? Double salute as always. Your boy Fluence Boxing is back in the building today, and we have a very interesting topic that we're going to be talking about tonight. So please make sure y'all strapped in. Please make sure y'all paying attention. Please make sure I got y'all full focus. Obviously, as we know, as of yesterday, Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis was announced to be apparently official, set, and ready to go for the upcoming date of April 15th of 2023. Obviously, I dissected all that information, broke it down, went into the nitty-gritty, looked at the details, and I gave you guys a 61% chance of this fight actually happening on April 15th. That was just from my perspective and the information that I was able to put together and dissect. I said, me personally, if I was going to put a percentage on this fight actually happening, I said 61 to 62%. Remember, guys, at the beginning of that stream, I was at 77% after doing a lot more deep diving into the information that was presented and given to us. I ended up being at 61% for this fight to happen. If you guys want to put that into perspective, Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence, I was at about 22%. So I'm still in the high likely range of this fight happening, being hopeful for it. But obviously, if you look at the details, if you look at the information, there is some things that make you say, okay, will this fight really happen? Nonetheless, that's not what we're going to be talking about in this particular video. If you guys want to know a little bit more about what I was just speaking on, y'all can go check out the video that I dropped yesterday as well as the live. You know what I'm saying? You got all the details right there. But obviously, this is going to be the talk of the boxing community, at least for the next couple of weeks. And me personally, I thought this was very interesting to touch on when it came from Ryan Garcia's current trainer, Joe Goosen. He has some very particular things. Now, I do want to kind of like put this particular statement into perspective. I do want to, give you guys a foundation to this particular statement. Where Ryan Garcia himself, obviously, he was interviewed about this upcoming fight, or he was interviewed about the fight being done. As we all know, the only thing that's left is for them to actually sign the contracts. Oscar De La Hoya has already made that public, has already made that clear. Hey, we've agreed to terms. We've taken, really the short end of the stick. That's what Oscar De La Hoya was saying. We basically bent over backwards to get this fight done. And finally, we've agreed to terms. All we need to do is have for both parties to sign. So we don't have signed paperwork just yet, so we can't jump the gun, but apparently they have agreed to terms. With that being the case, Ryan Garcia, he spoke about the potential matchup between the two, and Ryan Garcia said he believes he will knock out Tank Davis. Now, with that being the case, or at least that's being a statement coming from Ryan Garcia, obviously that's causing some controversial pushback from the fans, pushback from the boxing community. Obviously, most people are leaning toward Tank Davis in this fight. Actually, most people thought Ryan Garcia wasn't even want to sniff this fight. A lot of people thought Ryan Garcia wasn't even serious about getting this fight done. A lot of people blamed it on Ryan Garcia for the fight not happening, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, etc. And now that we're in the position we are in, it's going to be very interesting to see the reception that Ryan Garcia gets when it comes to him being confident or him making statements like these that he will get from a lot of these guys who were saying previously that Ryan Garcia was scared, ducking, lying, mental health problems, etc. when it comes to avoiding the Gervonta Davis fight. Now, with me setting all this up, saying all those different things, there is a reason behind why I like to or would want to discuss this particular statement coming from Ryan Garcia's current trainer, Joe Goosen, saying Ryan Garcia possesses much heavier punch than Tank Davis. Obviously, the first thing people are going to say, especially if you're a Tank Gervonta Davis fan, is going to be, well, how does he know? He's never felt Gervonta Tank Davis's power. He's never trained Gervonta Tank Davis. There would be no way for you to be able to compare the two or even make a statement like this if you don't know how heavy of a puncher Tank Davis is, if you've never held mitts for him, if you've never been a trainer for him, if you've never been in the gym, or in the same gym with them, I should say. Obviously, I'm going to read through this article so we can figure out where this is coming from. Is it just coming off of him assuming, or is it coming off of some type of detailed, I don't want to say assumption, but a detailed analysis from possibly being able to be in the same gym as Gervonta that we don't know about. Maybe he trained a sparring partner, Gervonta, and he got insight from the sparring partner. Who knows? But we are going to get into the nitty-gritty of this article so we can see where this statement is coming from and why Joe Goosen is saying it. Is he just saying this to draw up controversy? Is he just saying this to back up his fighter, Ryan Garcia? Is he just saying this so more people are in tune to get people upset? Or is he coming from a very based and unbiased ideal point or perspective saying this, because he knows something that we don't. Well, let's go ahead and find out. Once again, make sure you guys hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, road to 5K before the end of the year. Happy Friday to the people, notification gang. Get in the channel, get in the comment section, go crazy with it. Go, let the algorithm go crazy. I need to hear from y'all. I need to hear what y'all opinions is. But let's go. As y'all can see, man, the point of this video and what we're going to be talking about is Joe Goosen having some choice words in reference to comparing the power between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. Let's see what he says. So this is coming from Boxing News 24. This is coming from the reporter Jim Kalfa. Trainer Joe Goosen says Ryan Garcia has a much heavier punch than the WBA regular lightweight champion Gervonta Tank Davis. Goosen says the 24-year-old Ryan, 23-0, is a true welterweight once he rehydrates for his fights at 135, and he's going to have a considerable size and power advantage when he faces the unbeaten 5'5" Tank Davis. The 28-year-old Gervonta will be taking a January 7th tune-up fight in Washington, D.C. before facing Ryan on April 15th in a catchweight bout at 136 in Las Vegas on DAZN and Showtime. Tank's secondary World Boxing Association lightweight belt won't be on the line, so if Ryan wins, Tank still will be the WBA champion, albeit a secondary one below the full champion, Devin Haney. When he works out, people are hypnotized. They can't believe what they're seeing, said Joe Goosen to Fight Hype, talking about his fighter, Ryan Garcia. It's going to be talking about his fighter, Ryan Garcia. If there was a tune-up fight, I wouldn't dissuade from that. I would probably embrace that. I know Tank has a very great offense, and it does when it gets going. And it looks very good when it gets going his way. But it's not like Tank has had his way his entire career. When you go up against the top-notch competition, it's like baseball. Some of the greatest players get struck out by great pitchers, and sometimes they bang out home runs. You might strike out once or twice earlier in the game and then hit the game winner out of the park in your third time at bat. It's the same thing in a fight. You might be getting hit a little bit in the mid-rounds, and then you start overwhelming the guy. Excuse me. Got a little drippage. Overwhelming the guy, knocking him out of the park, and then you get to the late knockout, so nobody is immune to getting hit. The thing is, I think per square inch, Ryan possesses a much heavier punch than Tank Davis. I believe that for a particular reason. With that said, neither one of these guys want to get hit with the other guy's best shot. So we didn't really go into specifics on why he believes that. I personally think he's probably just going off the basis of Ryan being just a little, obviously a bigger opponent, a naturally heavy, a naturally heavier fighter, a naturally heavier guy. So that's probably where he's getting the basis of his argument from. I don't think anybody would be telling the truth. I don't mind if Ryan Garcia hits me 5 or 6 times really solidly. I don't think anybody would say that. You don't want to get hit by either one of these guys, but I believe that Ryan is the bigger guy too. So that goes back to what I just said. I think Tank is at the right weight now at 135 with his size. Ryan just turned 24 in August. He's still growing. He looks like a full-fledged welterweight in the ring. It was like De La Hoya. I went up against De La Hoya at 95 against Rafael Ruiz, and Ruiz was 5'10", maybe 5'11", and he fought at 135. But De La Hoya at 130, I said back then, Oscar De La Hoya is a welterweight fighting at 130 right now, and he was a welterweight when he was fighting at 135. He was 5'11". Look at the size of Oscar if you see him now. He filled out eventually, but he looked like a welterweight when he was fighting at 135, and I believe Ryan has the same type of build. He's not only going to be heavier, but he's got a longer reach. He's got a distinct advantage in height, and he's a clever guy. He's got a quick hands. He's got incredible power, and like I said, he's going to be a welterweight in a 135 weight class when they fight. My faith in Ryan Garcia, as good as Gervonta is, I am so confident in Ryan's ability to win this fight that I wish it were a little bit sooner, to tell you the truth. If Tank is having a tune-up, I suspect the negotiating team with Ryan's input, I suspect they're mulling something over. Oh, sorry about that, guys. What it is, I'm not exactly sure yet, but they just cleared the paperwork off the deck today for this fight. So, there it is, guys. That's it's coming from Joe Goosen. Obviously, I was trying to figure out, why would he say something like that? Is there maybe like some inside information? Maybe, he trained Gervonta Davis back in the day and we didn't know. Maybe he held mitts for him. Maybe he held mitts for a sparring partner or something like that, where you can kind of do a contrast and comparison. But no, that's not the case. He's really just riding for his fighter. He's backing his fighter. He's really going off the mindset and the basis of that. Okay, Ryan Garcia is naturally a bigger fighter. He's naturally weighs more. He's naturally taller. He naturally carries more weight. Yes, Gervonta Davis may have more one-punch knockout power, but overall, because Ryan Garcia is the bigger guy, he will be able to land the bigger shots. I think that's really what he's going off of. Whether that's true, whether you guys agree with that, that's up to you guys' own discretion. I would love to see what you guys think about that. Me personally, it is a very interesting take. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. I think it's going to be something that we're all going to enjoy if it does end up getting there. Like I said, 61% sure that this fight's going to happen, but we'll see. Obviously, Tank got a tune-up fight happening in January. Supposedly Ryan Garcia is supposed to be looking for a tune-up fight as well in January. So we'll see what ends up happening from there. But let me ask you guys this, Black Goose TV family, do you guys agree at all with what Joe Goosen is saying as far as Ryan Garcia possessing a much heavier punch, albeit because of his natural weight, albeit because he's naturally taller, albeit because he's naturally younger? Do you agree with that, or do you just think Gervonta Tank Davis is just levels above Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia has a lot of catching up to do? What's your guys' opinion, man? Make sure you guys drop it below in the comments. As always, man, I need to hear from the people. Like, subscribe to the channel if you're not part of the family. Road to 5K before the end of the year. We still moving and growing. Stay blessed. Not stressed. On the Arnold Schwarzenegger side of the game, I'll be back with more boxing. Y'all already know what it is. We working, we moving, we grooving. I'm telling you, this channel finna go back up. I took a little slack off, but it's time to get back on. Y'all already know what it is. Check your boy. Much love.